Thank you very much. If my presentation comes up, first of all, it's very good to see familiar faces. It's even better to see unfamiliar faces because they are the future of my conversations for this afternoon. How do we learn best? And it would be so nice if all our cities would be running as smoothly as our iPhones do, right? How do we learn best? We learn best from mistakes. Because it's not enough to be digital, we have to be intelligent. And 25 years ago, communities, cities put a lot of thinking into how to become a smart, sustainable city, and millions were invested. And believe it or not, I have the top 5 here that failed. Just to crush your good mood a little bit. There's Ordos in Inner Mongolia, $160 billion invested by the time the building stopped. What you see there is ruins. Instead of 1 million people, 100,000 live in those ruins. In the financial district China in Jiapu, that was planned for 1.5 million. Under 10% are living in those ruins, in those buildings there. They invested 30 billion and then it kind of stopped. The question is always, why, right? Why does it stop? Come with me to Malaysia, forest cities, right on the beach, white sands, blue sea, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It was advertised with a $100 billion invest. Only 4.3 billion were invested. Then investors pulled out. Today, only 10,000 people live there. It was built, supposed to be for 1 million. Too remote, too expensive, and too unorganic. Masdar City, Abu Dhabi. So I'm traveling around the world with you here. 20 billion. It was supposed to be a carbon zero city. That looked so good on the drawing board. Construction delayed. The investors pulled out again, rents too high. Today it's a showcase, much more than a city, because hardly anybody lives there. It's a ghost city. And last but not least, your number 1 on the list, my favorite, Songdo in South Korea. That was planned as a smart eco-city. And I see people nodding, so you might have heard about Songdo. When you visit it, only 20% of that city is in use. A ghost town since 2010. Why? The common factor of all of these, I think, is a top-down approach to put technology first. And that is the biggest mistake we can make. Cities are not planned on a drawing board. Cities are there. And the ones that are there, like Bangalore, like London, like Düsseldorf, like New York, they need to be made smarter. They need to be made more sustainable. So driving AI, making cities smart, we have to do this around the humans that live there. It's all about the people, and we have to do it with a situational approach. And this situational approach has been done in many cities. We've heard about Bangalore here, monitoring traffic with this AI twin this morning from Venkat. Singapore uses AI to analyze mobility flow, predict bus demands. I can tell you, I live in a village. If I want a bus, I have to call first. And then the bus will eventually come through my village, which is a nice service. But using AI, much better in a large city. Seoul, AI-driven flood predictions. If you live in a city that's flooding, this is exactly what you need. You want the AI flood prediction, drainage automation to make the city smarter. Barcelona, sensor data to forecast irrigation and rain. So they managed to reduce water 25%. Tokyo, a digital twin to monitor people movement for large events like the Olympics. Hangzhou, traffic reduction by 50 to 20% reduced, which is good. Amsterdam, AI predicting peak loads and optimizing grids for energy. And we've heard from Uniper this morning, the energy grid loads, there they use buildings not just to produce and store, but they also exchange energy between the buildings. And Dubai here on the list, waste collection optimized, AI route planning. They have a police avatar that reduces walk-in service queues. And actually I can tell you, when you are in a city and there is any kind of traffic jam or a queue, the city is not yet smart enough. So using deep tech, using AI, and using skilling, and I think there is a panel later this afternoon exactly on these topics, is what we need for smart spaces. And my list here of recommended things, first you define the problem, then you define the tech. If I give you a hammer, everything will look like a nail, but we need to look at the nails first before we start hammering about. Mobility, energy, public services. I'm just going through here. Cyber resilience, IoT architecture, using sensors. Oh yeah, using sensors is a thing, right? You're looking at my shoulder. I ripped a muscle. I wish I'd be less human, more sensor equipped. That would have helped a great deal. Using AI for predictive analysis, working with the digital twins, making cities sustainable. So what do we do at Infosys? Because Infosys has been mentioned so many times, and it's not just Infosys, where IT is a lot of fun. It's also other IT companies, of course. But we like to build on what is already existing. You can, of course, always create from scratch, and we like to do that too. Gives us lots of money. But you have already done investments in your cities, in your companies. Let's build on what is already there. Navigate your next in utilities, of course, making reliable, energy efficient, building those grids that are secure to address tomorrow's needs. And what you've seen at the beginning when I started out with those ghost towns that are there, it needs to be sustainable, connected, it needs to be affordable. We need to learn from our mistakes, and we have to be experiential. And I think we've seen lots of great ideas this morning already of new tech that's coming, be it the flying drone taxis, the mini 7-seaters, or other electric vehicles. Let's try things out, but let's do this around the people. And talking about practical sustainability, and I have 90 seconds left, so thank you. At Infosys, we were carbon neutral in 2020. And I like the Düsseldorf target of 2035. It doesn't come overnight. You have to put a lot of thought into this in order to do this, and not just buying carbon credits, but to be truly sustainable. We, at Infosys, we're not 100% on renewables. We're 44% on renewables, but we reuse 100% of our wastewater, recycling that, trying to improve step by step on top of being carbon neutral. It doesn't stop there, being carbon zero. The journey goes on. So I can only recommend, with a bit of underrun, scan those QR codes, connect with Infosys to navigate our future, to navigate our next. Thank you.